It's Saturday, and you know what that means. Welcome back to Saturday Smack Talk here at Sleeper Sports Media, Lace 'em Up Sports Media, and the Tired Sports Network. Also, as always, No Dirt Sheets and all the other partners that we have here at Sleeper Sports Media. It's just me this week. Josh is at work, but figure we can. I Last week we both were at work, so bringing it back this week to start October off and look ahead at the month of the WWE and as well as football and everything, catching up on the last 2 weeks that we have missed. So thank you to everyone who's watching, the four people that are here, three on Twitter, one on YouTube. Thank you so much. And we're going to be short and sweet more than likely. Going to try to go over the results of Raw, SmackDown last night, look ahead at Crown Jewel, what we have right now, or at least look ahead at SmackDown next week, as well as Raw. We know Roman Reigns will be in Dallas on Monday. We're going to start things off with, of course, the Monday Night Raw results from the 29th. Roman Reigns did return. We had Asuka turning on Io with the Poison Mist. We had Dominic Mysterio defeating Rusev for the Intercontinental Championship. That one kind of building up Rusev to be this big unstoppable force, and then all of a sudden, I mean, Dom did win in Dominic Mysterio ways, but Dom retains nonetheless. Rusev once again shows that he has a great look, but no charisma, no no personality, no nothing outside of a good look. Um, Asuka and turning on Io, seemingly forcing us to see a tag match with between these four next week on Raw in Australia. Don't know why they wouldn't, or no, maybe they did put it on Crown Jewel. At this point, I can't even remember. Um, but Raw was fairly started out slow for sure, and then of course we got what we all wanted. Raquel Rodriguez did defeat Bailey. Um, and these actually might be the results from no, this was this week. Yeah, Kofi Kingston dropped one to LA Knight, and we had the face to face of Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes ahead of their matchup for the Crown Jewel Championship. Next Saturday, of course, we had AJ Styles and Dragon Lee defeat Los Americanos, and then the main event was a rematch from WrestlePalooza, a tornado tag team match of the Usos versus the Bronze. And we had, again, I don't know why they wouldn't have done this one on the PLE as well, but if it sets up somehow, some way for Roman Reigns to actually have a match and not just be on the poster as he has been before. Roman Reigns returned to assist the Usos in getting the win. Him and Jay shared a moment, and Jimmy was on the outside looking in, not too sure what he is actually looking at. That was Raw for the most part. It was very short, but also felt rushed. Not short, but just felt rushed. Was at 7 o'clock and ending at the same time. So don't know why they continuously change the start times and then send it back to 8 o'clock and then still have it go longer. I guess that is the flexibility and the benefit of being on Netflix there for the flagship show. So that was not the go home show. This Monday will be the go home show. They are in Dallas at the American Airlines Center, and the official American Airlines Center Facebook and Twitter social medias there have announced that Roman Reigns will be live in and will be kicking off Raw next week, or really Monday, back to their normal 8 o'clock start time for the go home show before Crown Jewel. We go back over to SmackDown here for the results last night of SmackDown, October 3rd, Friday. We had Paul Heyman trying to drive a wedge between Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton. We knew the tag team was going to be the main event. Right after that, Sami Zayn had his open challenge that he's been doing for 5 weeks now, just about. And it was Carmelo Hayes that was going to answer the call once again. He just had the title match 2 weeks ago, and now he wants another one. And then we seemingly saw the end of Melo Don't Miz. Miz would come out and attack Carmelo. Again, that would be a match they could put on the PLE to get both these guys on a PLE match, but are they going to do that? Absolutely not, because why would they? It would make too much sense. That's why. We have instead Aleister Black came out and accepted the open challenge there for Sami Zayn. We and Sami Zayn would retain. Last week, Sami Zayn did defeat Javon Evans, who made his SmackDown debut. So we didn't get to go over the results last week. That was a separate video out on the Facebook page, which did hit 100 followers on for Saturday SmackTalk. So next week, when Josh and I are back, will be our first episode. Episode 9 of Saturday Smack Talk will be on the official live on the official Facebook page, as we are live right now across Facebook for both my page and the network's page, Twitch for both mine and the network, Twitter, and both Josh and I's YouTube. So thank you to everyone watching across those platforms there. This very well might be our shortest episode yet. I know 2 weeks ago when I did this solo, it was about 20, hopefully 30 minutes. Given that there's not much to talk about outside of the results, it's pretty much been copy and paste the last couple of weeks with the matchups and the results and the way that they're going and the builds to the PLE again. But we'll get into that into Crown Jewel and see what it's looking like as of right now. Javon Evans was back on SmackDown again. So seemingly looking like he has gotten called up along with Sol Ruka and Zarya. They would pick up a win in their SmackDown debut against the Secret Harvest. No Piper Niven again with Chelsea Green and Alba Fire. So that was just Chelsea Green and Alba Fire. They and Zarya and Sol Ruka would pick up a win. Sol Ruka, a double champion right now. Could these tag teams pick up a couple wins and jump the line to be next in line for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships against Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair? We then jump over to the contract signing, the face-to-face, however they worded it at first. We had Tiffany Stratton and Stephanie Vaquer signed the contract for Crown Jewel, making that match official for the Women's Crown Jewel Championship. Nick Aldis was there, and then out comes Kiana James and Julia. Also, these two, they finally gave Julia and someone that struggles with speaking English a manager, and they should have also done that for Stephanie Vaquer, Io Sky, Kyrie, and Asuka. I would die on that hill that whenever they're doing the backstage vignette promos and everything, and they're throwing captions up or whatever, subtitles on for Asuka, but I mean, still, they give her the mic way too often for her to not have that on 24/7. They're on Netflix for crying out loud. You would think that they could make that work. The contract signing went down. Julia and Kiana James came out. They would attack Tiffany as she was going back. This sets up a match for the Go Home show on SmackDown next week in Perth, Australia. We'll get to that for next week whenever we see those. Then we would have Javon Evans and Ray Phoenix against Los Garza. So again, Javon Evans seemingly caught up with everything that's going on in TNA and NXT. They're using this as a way to make call-ups. Nick Aldis and him were talking. I did not hear what they were fully saying, but something about keeping in touch. So keeping Javon Evans on SmackDown, hopefully, along with Julia or not Julia, but Sol Ruka and Zarya, both of those. And then we go to the main event of Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed against Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton. Very, very fast-paced match. Very pushing it very much so to get it done and over with. The Bronze would defeat Cody and Randy, pinning Randy. So that thanks to Rollins, he would come out and stomp Randy right into the ring, and then would let Cody get the best of him there and go back and try to do the same to Cody. Cody would of course move out the way, and then would have the last laugh standing tall. So hopefully this means we will see Seth Rollins come away at Crown Jewel with the win and be the new reigning, defending second time ever men's crown jewel champion, as Cody won last year. That was how SmackDown went off the air. Very rushed ending to SmackDown, very odd ending to SmackDown, of course. Whenever it's ending or Cody Rhodes is even on the show, you know it's going to be a weird beginning, middle, and end. Um, we look ahead to see what they do have for Monday Night Raw. I don't think they have anything on the website out yet besides what they announced. But Roman being there, they haven't even updated the picture on the website to show Roman. They still have CM Punk, Rhea Ripley, Becky Lynch, Seth Rollins, Jey Uso. Naomi is still on the group graphic that they have for Monday, October 6th in Dallas, and of course Penta. Naomi, Jey Uso, CM Punk, Rhea Ripley, and Seth Rollins. So they did advertise CM Punk will be back, will be on Raw. I'm guessing we're going to see another AJ Lee and Becky Lynch face to face or interaction to set up their women's intercontinental championship match. Since AJ was the last one to pin Becky, they could throw that one on Crown Jewel. At this point, uh, who knows if they'll add any more matches or if we're just going to get 4 matches again. I think that's all we have right now. But Rollins and Cody, I think, have another face to face. Roman, of course, kicks off SmackDown. Hopefully, we get either Roman versus Braun or Braun versus Roman versus Bronson Reed 2 and do a rematch. At this rate, I want something new. You could do Jay and Roman versus the Brawns, and Jimmy walks away, doesn't want to be a part of it. Could go a couple different directions here, but that is Monday Night Raw for what we know so far. And then we go, of course, to Friday Night SmackDown for next week in Perth, and we have, let's see here. I do have the graphics here for next week. I made a post just a little bit ago on the Saturday SmackTalk official Facebook page. You can go and help us get to our next goal of 200. Getting over to the graphics because it's not on. Actually, it is on the website. They have SmackDown up for next week, but not Raw. So make that make sense. We'll also talk about John Cena and his final dates, what we know so far before they add any others. But we will have, of course, Sami Zayn will once again issue a United States Open challenge. We don't know who's going to answer. Could be another call up, could be a surprise return, could be a debut, could be who knows. But more than likely, it'll probably be someone that we've seen before. Could end up being John Cena again, for all we know. We also have Damian Priest and Aleister Black will take it out in a last man standing match instead of putting this on the PLE, and they are going to throw it on SmackDown because why not? Of course they are. We also have Tiffany Stratton and Stephanie Vaquer versus Julia and Kiana James. So, like I said, my post, a can they coexist match, champion versus champion on Saturday. But before we get there, champion teams with champion to take on another champion and her manager. Then we have another championship match or another champion involved, but in a championship match, the Wyatt Six once again take on the Street Profits for the WWE Tag Team Championships. That is all going down on Friday next week in Australia, and that has a crazy start time as well. Saturday Crown Jewel, of course, starts at 8 a.m. I don't know when SmackDown starts for next week. Here we go. Finding that here. All right. So this is showing. That's interesting. It's still showing as our normal 7:30 time, so normal 8 o'clock time to go live on Netflix. So for all intents and purposes, watch it at whatever time it will be live next week. I don't know if that's still 8 in the morning on our time or if that would be 8 p.m. Watch it whenever you can. Watch it whenever you can catch it. But yes, we have the graphics there. Tag Team Championship, Sami Zayn versus a challenger, tag match, and last man standing match. That is SmackDown for next week. And then we go into, of course, Crown Jewel. We have very cool graphics, very cool animated style mixed in with a sense of realness. It looks very Avengers-ish from the RAC Arena in Western Australia in Perth. And get the official match card here. We have, of course, like I said, Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins for the men's WWE Crown Jewel Championship. We have AJ Styles going one-on-one with John Cena. It's crazy that they just make this match official over Twitter. They don't even have these guys have any interactions more. That's because John Cena doesn't have any TV dates left after his final time at MSG in November. Tiffany Stratton versus Stephanie Vecchia for the Women's Crown Jewel Championship, and then we have the tag match Rhea and Io versus Kyrie and Asuka. That is a total of 4 matches. So I got to think that the 5th match that they're going to add. Normally they have 5 to 6 matches. They could add 2 more. Probably only going to add 1 more. Hopefully that's a Roman and Braun. I believe my beautiful wife Martina, she said she wants to see Roman and Brock again one more time, and I don't know if she heard that or if she will hear that back whenever she resumes it. But she wants to see, and that's just a joke, of course. She does not want to see Roman and Brock again. But that is Crown Jewel. We also we know of John Cena's final dates here. Let's see. Monday, November 10th will be his final time in Boston at the TD Garden. We have November 17th, so back-to-back weeks of Raw for John Cena. Will be his final show at Madison Square Garden. Then we have him at Survivor Series. We have him at Saturday Night's Main Event in November, and then we also have him at Saturday Night's Main Event in December, which will be his final match, Saturday, December 13th, Capital One Arena in Washington, D.C., and then that's it. That really is the last time. The last time is now. The last time is December 13th. I believe everything was up in the air with when that would actually take place. Of course, they want to compete with AEW and have a show on the same day, but Peacock said no. Peacock wanted either the 13th or the 27th. The NFL and ESPN stepped in and said, no, don't do the 27th. Let's not compete against partner versus partner. Let's do that on the 13th and take that date as World's End is on the 27th. And speaking of AEW, Collision actually looks somewhat decent today, so we can go over Collision. And then review talk about the Steelers the last couple of weeks, and then hopefully get at least 30 minutes for the show here. All right, Collision tonight. I believe it took place last night or Thursday night. I don't think it's live today. Um, an early start time of 7 p.m. tonight, coast to coast on TNT, streaming on HBO Max. The RP Funding Center from Lakeland, Florida. We had Chris Statlander come face to face with Tony Storm ahead of their women's championship at Wrestle Dream on October 18th. John Moxley, Daniel Garcia, and the Death Riders will be in trios action against Jay Lethal, Adam Priest, and the Dynamite Kid, Tommy Billington. Also saw Orange Cassidy team up with Paragon. That was. Oh no, okay, yeah, that is what we got. So looks jam packed as it always does. They always throw so much onto the 2-hour shows. I know Eddie Kingston versus Drillistico will be on Collision. They announced that on Dynamite. The Jet Kevin Knight versus a member of FTR. ROH World Tag Team Champion Sammy Guevara and Rush are in action. And we have Anna Jay versus Jamie Hayter. MXM TV's casting call. And that is what we got for Collision tonight live. live streaming on Max, not live. I believe it was already taped on Thursday or Friday, whenever that was. And that's what we got going on for AEW. Um, the Steelers, of course, are on a bye week this week. We had Penn State lose to Oregon last week. They look to bounce back and get a win, pick up another win over UCLA. They dropped to 7 in the rankings, and the Steelers are sitting comfortably in first place of the AFC North, with all the other teams struggling. The Browns benching Joe Flacco. Lamar Jackson is hurt. The Ravens are not doing so hot. We have the Bengals, of course, without Joe Burrow for a couple of months with turf toe. The Steelers, they will face, let's see, they kick off AFC North play. Yeah, they kick off AFC North play next next Sunday against the Browns at 1, and then Thursday night um, against the Bengals. Then we got the mini bye week, and then we have Sunday night against the Packers. Then the Colts, Chargers, Bengals again, Bears, Bills, Ravens, Dolphins. Man, oh man, this isn't going to be an up and down, back and forth schedule. I mean, it could go great, it could go bad. We know how the Steelers are. We know how Mike Tomlin is. This is this would be the year that they finally get a playoff win, or it's the year that breaks the camel's back, and we see it be the last year of Mike Tomlin with the Pittsburgh Steelers. If they had an owner that actually had a spine and would actually do what's best for the team and know when it's time to move on from a coach that just doesn't have it anymore, which seemingly is Mike Tomlin after he gets to 9 wins in one season, and then it's just whatever. Losing, I he keeps his losing record alive, non-losing season record alive, and then just gives up. So that's the look ahead at the Steelers schedule. I know Josh would go into the Cowboys schedule. How do you tie the Packers and the Cowboys tied? I still don't like the fact that you can tie in the NFL. I mean, it's ridiculous that any professional sport can have a tie. Um, I went over that in our Monday minutes or Sunday something over on Sleeper Sports Media. The WNBA Finals, we can take a look at that. The Fever did drop Game 5 to the Aces. So, of course, the Aces, who took Game 1 last night, 89-86 over the Mercury. Asia Wilson was, of course, on fire, as she always is. 21 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists, 38 minutes played. Um, Tied for the most points on her team with Dana Evans, and then Jewel Lloyd, 18. Jackie Young had 10 with 32 minutes. Alyssa Thomas, 15 points. So that should be, hopefully, we see it. It's a competitive series, as game 1 was very close. I caught the last couple of minutes. So game 2 will be on. Game 2 is tomorrow. We go to So that will be a fun series. Hopefully, it's not a sweep. Hopefully, we have a competitive series for the WNBA Finals, and I do want the Aces to win. That'd be really cool to see Asia Wilson win another one. Then we go over to the MLB playoffs. Of course, the Yankees move on to the ALDS, and we take on Toronto. They play today at 4:08. We watching that one. Be all eyes on that one. We have game 1 going on right now of the NLDS Cubs at Milwaukee. They are up 1-0 in the bottom of the first. We also have on game 1s today the Dodgers and the Phillies. We have the Tigers and the Mariners, and then the Yankees and the Blue Jays. So that is 4:08, 6:38, and 8:38 tonight. Game 2. Got to get through game 1 first, so hopefully the Yankees can pull that one off and get their way back to right the wrong of last year's World Series. But that is what we're looking at for the MLB and for baseball. Uh, NBA news, don't really cover NBA much, but it's pretty cool that Seth Curry signed with the Warriors, and now he'll be playing with Steph. So two brothers on the same team in the NBA, much like LeBron and Bronny, father son duo on uh on one team there. And that just about does it. Don't know if there's any other reports out there. Tulsa King. I know we movies and entertainment is also part of Sleeper Sports Media. So Tulsa King, the first two episodes were fantastic. I know episode 3 comes out tomorrow. Law and Order SVU, got to catch up on episode 2. Probably will do that here in a second, and then review that on my channel only, at Sleeper Sports Media. And that's about going to do it for this episode of Saturday Smack Talk. Getting right around 30 minutes, I think, is good for only having me. We go through it quicker. Of course, we would dissect everything and break it all down with both Josh and I are here, but things happen. He's at work, so it's going to be me or it's going to be him whenever things happen. But we'll still get shows out, get shows rolling out on the network. Of course, all the channels and the platforms here for Tired Sports Network, for Sleeper Sports Media, and for Lace 'em Up Media, or Lace 'em Up Sports Media. I'm Nick Wietosh. This has been episode 8 of Saturday Smack Talk. I thank everyone who was watching, who had it playing in the background or whatever. Thank you so much. It means a lot. And please share, watch it back, and leave a comment. Um, Watch it back, leave a comment, share it. Subscribe to all the channels on all the platforms: Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, all that good stuff, and follow the Saturday Smack Talk Facebook page. I will put the link in the description. I got to work on that as well, and then get some clips out also. And college football news, really quick. Clemson has put up 10 minutes into the game, and Clemson's up 21-3 over North Carolina. Bill Belichick, man, oh man, whew, that is that's very, very crazy to see. Bill Belichick and struggle as bad as he's been struggling this year. Penn State, I believe, kicks off at 3:30 against UCLA, and I mean their season's pretty much a wrap at this point. We know what's going to go down. With the rest of the season, they will maybe win another, win a big game or two, but ultimately they dropped against Oregon, so their hopes at a Big Ten championship are seemingly over at this point. So we will we will live to fight another day for Penn State and hopefully still make the playoffs. But I have no faith in James Franklin and winning the big ones, winning when it counts, winning when it matters. And that's been the pattern and the consistency that is James Franklin and what he for for Penn State there. Um, but that is just about going to do it. Covered a good bit of topics here. Um, so we have episode 8 in the books. Next week will be episode 9, and a crown jewel preview, full crown jewel preview, or more than likely review, since it is at 8 o'clock. We will be going live, hopefully immediately following crown jewel, or maybe do a watch along. We'll figure it out with next week. Maybe do a Friday show, or we'll just get something out in some way, shape, or form. Also, something coming on another channel next week, but more on that later. That's going to wrap it up for episode 8 of Saturday Smack Talk here at the Tired Sports Network for Sleeper Sports Media, here on the Tired Sports Network, presented by StreamYard and Canva, all our great partners, the Walmart storefront, everything under the sun you could think of, that ways to support us here at Sleeper Sports Media and the Tired Sports Network. Thank you again for watching, viewing, subscribing, clicking, liking. My name is Nick Wietosh, and this is episode 8. Saturday Smack Talk is in the books. We'll catch you next time, next weekend. Go Steelers, go Fever, go Yanks, and here we